Mr. West, is that where we are now? Another music major. What would you propose to do about the hacked emails at the Climate Research Unit at East Anglia University that showed the leading climate scientists have either thrown out or hidden data showing a decline in global temperatures?
Give the guy an A+. You know, there's a lot of theory out there about the hacked emails. In fact, I was reading a report just before we came over here. It's on the Drudge. I don't know if any of you young people read the Drudge Report. I do. I get a lot of information off of it. But they come to find out that these were not hacked. These were just let loose. Nobody went in there and got them. They were actually turned over. They wanted to say they're hacked so we can focus the attention off the results that came from those emails. If somebody is breaking the law to get them, I think accountability needs to be the #1 thing that we can continuously strive for, because without accountability, it doesn't matter if the results are what we want. If you got them the wrong way, then you need to pay the piper, so to speak. But what I've read, they were not. Somebody released them over there, and they probably had a bad conscience. Maybe God was working on them a little bit, and they decided to turn them loose. But since it did, we've now found out that there's a lot of stuff in there that wasn't as harmful as we all thought it was. So right now, no, until it's proven, I wouldn't do a thing.
Thank you. Dr. Ackerman?
When science is a slave to a government, you get bad science and you get bad policy. Those of us who have studied the global warming issue from a scientific point of view understand that the science of global warming is bogus. 40 years ago, on the very first Earth Day, scientists predicted that by the year 2000, the temperature on Earth would have dropped by 11 degrees and that 70 to 80% of all the species on Earth would be extinct. Obviously, that didn't happen. Global warming has become a religion to some people who want to punish capitalist societies and prevent us from having a robust economy. So if you look at global warming, it is not, I expect that those scientists will lie to protect what they think is, what they want to do from a policy point of view. And that should never be. When science loses its integrity, then all science suffers.
Thank you. Mr. Krause?
I think the jury is still out as far as the effects of global warming. And I don't believe in people like Al Gore that the sea is rising and the sky is falling. Okay? And I think the government is overreacted. And one example of this is the passage in the House, which our congressman voted for, is the cap and trade. This is an attempt to reduce the carbon emissions. But what it does is tax. It's just an energy tax. That's all it is. And according to the Heritage Foundation, it would increase your expenses, electricity expenses, $3,000 per family. And that's not going to accomplish anything. So it's ill-conceived, and I'm going to hold E. Schumer accountable for what he did.
Thank you. Mr. Stone?
I personally feel that, as some of the other gentlemen have mentioned, I think it's bogus. I think that global warming / climate change has made Al Gore a lot of money. Has anybody seen his house? You talk about carbon footprints. You ever seen his house? Oh my gosh. It's kind of like little Bobby Kennedy Jr. flying around in Learjets, and he tells us to, ride around in the little cars and all that. And I think that is the danger, is when you politicize something like that, you have all kinds of bad things. Al Gore's film, 9 absolutely fictitious major facts on his whole thesis. That aside, if somebody did, break the law in doing this, I think that they need to be, held accountable. Just because you don't agree with somebody's point of view doesn't mean that we lower ourselves and then try to, get down in the hog pen with, those type of tactics. I don't agree with those tactics, whatsoever. But I for one am just really sick and tired of hearing about this climate change and this and that. And I think we're very, very arrogant as a people to think that we would have that type of an effect on something as vast and as resilient as the Earth. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question.